Hello and welcome. My name is Savo, and today we will tackle the topic of editing shader files and editing light intensity settings in Studio 2.0's render engine. I'm very excited about that. I wanted to cover this topic a long time, but I didn't want to rush it. So you see on your screen already, I will edit the image out. I don't have it yet. We will get it throughout this tutorial. And you will see a very dramatically changed light style that you don't usually have from Studio. And to achieve this, we will see this scene here. So that's a whole nother level. And basically, we got luminous materials here. And we will try to have very dramatic lighting that fits the scene. I built this scene, obviously, as you see, it's just for rendering. And that's what this topic is about. But we will have to tackle two main parts. Editing shader files. That means the brick, how it behaves to light. And second part will be changing the light luminous materials that emit light into the scene, then bring those together, and maybe I will hop into Photoshop a bit to see how we can already improve the renders that come out of Studio. So let's get started. As I said, the scene is it's made for rendering, obviously. Throughout this tutorial, I will use a low resolution. I don't want you to wait on my renders, and I'm on an older GPU at the moment. So let's have the render quality. Normally, you will use medium and you can't go lower. But you can use custom and then go very low to like 16 for background information. This is global illumination based render engine. So that means this number is a quantifier how many light particles or light rays get cast into the scene by an emitter. And that will lead at very low sample ratings at kind of light blobs showing up. I can't be bothered when I'm trying out, and we will do a lot of test renders. I want fast render speeds. So later I will get this to high or very high, but for the moment it's cool. And also the resolution is fine. So let's start this and see how the scene that is just lit by the normal lights, and I got one luminous material here. In the mage's staff here. And you see, it's kind of from a video game or Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And the first part of this tutorial will, as I said, cover how bricks behave. And I got very light scene. We will change that. But what bothers me instantly is this part, that I have kind of a reflection in the bricks, which for me in a render situation doesn't fit for a brick wall that is made from cobblestone or something. So we will directly dive into the shader files, and we are altering two paths here, files and paths. So the first path on Windows, I will add them in the description for Mac as soon as someone tells them to me. I don't own a Mac, so yeah. That's in Program File Studio Photorealistic Renderer Win64. And there you will find settings.xml. And I will always just copy it to have a back up if I mess up at some point, or that, I just want to go back. So, and I'm using Notepad++ here. That's open source software. You can get it for, I guess, I don't know if it's available for Mac, but there's just a normal text editor And please don't use the Windows Editor one or WordPad or something. It doesn't work, it messes up the files. So get Descent. And the first thing, it's very bright, so I will change it in the style configurator to Monokai. And that looks better, but maybe intimidating. So let's dive into this real quick. That's the shader settings file. And I got word wrap on here. If it looks different to you like this, it's also fine. It gets like 5,000 lines of code. And if you want to wrap that up, so you see everything on screen, then go view word wrap. And I will not get into detail. There's a lot of settings here. The first one I will search is solid. And what I'm searching for, you see that those are group names. And just a little background information how the shader files are structured. They have like a group for stickers, for solids, for transparents, for chrome colors. And then the color itself is defined in a material, and the original solid or sticker group is referenced, and they inherit, the materials inherit all the stuff from this set group. So that's an advantage for us because we are just having to change one single line of code for having all materials reflect that one setting. So that's, I know it's called solid minus group. So let's search that. It's on line 334, solid group. And basically now there's a shader. It's XML formatting. So there's a shader, it opens. It's a BSDF. And here we have that reflection thing. I know there's also specular, which is in shader terms reflection. So we'll change those two. And I will just have them under each other. So I don't want to scroll down. So basically, let's see our render here. Oftentimes I have the impression that the Lego bricks are like coated in clear coat or in some goo. And that's exactly this one, clear coat. And it's set in the default to 1. And now I will tune that down to very low. So like 0.2. And you can delete the trailing zeros. And also I will change the specular to 0.1 perhaps. And that is kind of the reflection. So let's see what we have. And now it's asking me on Windows that I need to have administrator rights. I'll save that again. And let's check that out. Let's render it again. And the cool stuff is you don't have to reopen Studio. You just, because the renderer is an external program, so you just change render, and go on. So let's see. That looks promising. And now let's compare those. You see, the reflection itself is gone, but the light spill is still here. And you will see that also. Look at the mage. It's just very, very shiny and very. My Legos look more dull than they do in the renders. So that's the first thing to change. Great, and now we will assign luminous materials to them. And I guess, I don't know if I made a group, let's see. And I want that like luminous color like an amber. Luminous amber, it's render only. And let's quickly assign that. Is that, no, it's pearl gold, that one, luminous amber. And now those three are luminous amber, and that's okay for now. Let's have, this is a green already, luminous green. And let's have that a luminous blue. It's kind of a loot that you get out of the dungeon. Glowing luminous blue goblet of restoration or something. I don't know. Okay, let's have that and see what that yields us. You see the render is very fast, and now you see sad light blobs going in, but it's okay, honestly, for a few seconds of render. And now we have that materials going on, and it's okay. And now we're stuck because I want the scene lit by only these things, because the dungeons, I don't know many dungeons, but those I do know don't have like a skybox or something, or some neon lights shining down. So let's go to render again, and then under background light, let's go intensity 0. And that disables all lights that are in the scene that are normally like a studio atmosphere. And that's a major change that we did now. And from now on we will, oh yeah. And it's already looking quite good. And you see the blobs I mentioned. Okay. So that's already, yeah, it's looking nice. But what we want to do now, first thing is, those are very dim. Normally, the torch should be the main lighting. The goblet is very bright. Also, the staff is pretty, yeah, bright. And we don't have him lit. Kind of a backlight. Let's see if we can mitigate this by pumping up the torches. And I also want to have something back here, I see. Let's do that first in the scene. And as I said, it's just for render. So I will just introduce one piece and have that luminous red and spill some light back there. Luminous red. Let's see, kind of a red stuff coming down. Let's see how this works out. Yeah, it's great. And you see we got some light spilling here. That's not optimal because that destroys our look. So I want to change that. And I guess the fastest I could mitigate this would be just cloning some 4 brick here to block off all the light, and then some here. And yeah, let's have that. Maybe just go for plate 2. And let's have that here. And I lost my material there. Lost it again. Luminous red. And I hope this does mitigate. Let's see. Or let's attach that here. It can be seen. So let's attach it here. Okay. Checking for the light spill again. I hope it's gone. And you oftentimes have that. Yeah, I guess still got something there. I don't like the looks of it. So we will. How could we mitigate this? Let's have it like this, so it's really, I hope, blocked off. And once again, as you see, I'm doing a lot of renders. Maybe I will go to 8 here and see what that yields me, if it's even faster. Because, yeah, You get the point. Yeah, and it's blocked off. There's a little one. I could at some point mitigate this, but for this sake of tutorial, but I like the looks. It's very bright at the moment, but we will now change that. And now down to 8, you see really the blobbiness of that, but it's okay. So let's get to the other folder I mentioned, and that's called Custom Colors. That's a different one than the installation folder. So keep that in mind. It's for me or for standard Windows using, it's C Program Data Studio Custom Colors. And here also there's a file custom color settings, not the 219, and be sure to have the XML, not the TXT. And I will just make a copy here so I can fall back and edit that with Notepad. And it's the same, same, but different. Yeah. Also, it defines the trans and glow in the dark and all that colors. So here we will change the material itself. And I know that I used amber. And I want to see the name of the group, and it's Luminous Soft Amber. So you just switch, and I know I used Luminous Amber. The trans is always because it's transparent, but Luminous Amber, that's the first one I'm editing. And under here it's the same, but it got a shader and some mixer. And here, that's the important part. It's emission. It's an emission property. And here under strength, you will find a value, and I know 20 at the moment. So I found that to be too low. So I'm just going for 100. Let's see. And the same I will do for green, transluminous green. I used that for the staff, and I said I want to tune that down. So I'm going to have the emission shader, input strength value 5, just tune it down and see what it gets you. Then I have blue, that's the goblet, transluminous blue, and the goblet should be very dim. So just for test, I go to 2 in the emission shader, and we got this red, that's back where the skeleton is. That's translucent, glow in the dark, glowing, luminous soft red, luminous red. I use that, and let's also tune that down to like 10 perhaps. Let's see. Okay, and now we will render again, and let's see. So there we have it. Yeah, as expected, the red light and the green and the blue are darker. They don't emit as much light, but the others got very bright, 5 times the default of 20. And we got some new issues that we want to tackle. I find that a little bit too bright. So let's tune them down in the next step. And also, as you see, we are only casting light from here. Let's switch back here. We're only casting light here, and there's no light coming from this direction and lighting from that. And we want to mitigate this. So let's jump back to the settings file, and we're in the amber shader. And I want to have perhaps 60. That's 3 times the original. That should be fine. And the second one is in Studio. I could now get down the light intensity to like 0.1. Let's try that out. It will eventually not work, but I'm just making it for this tutorial. It will kind of fix our issue, but it will also destroy how the scene looks again. Because now it's already that dungeon light that's not there in the dungeon. So what we are now using is a plate as a fake light. And I will get 8x16 perhaps. Yeah, that's fine. And now I will assign that also the luminous amber, because that's our main color in the scene. And now pressing T, I will move that up to reside over, and then go for R, rotate, and have that at 315. And I'm just eyeballing here. So let's have it like this. So what this now does is emit light to be in our scene, and it kind of sets back our camera. I hope it's preserved. If not, we have to that's also a bug at some point, because it resets the origin, which it shouldn't, but yeah, whatever. I guess it was like this. And let's save that again and hit render. But first, let's get the white light out of the scene again. Let's see what this has brought us, introducing the fake light. Oh yeah, it does something, but it's very bright, obviously. And yeah, I like the idea of it, but I could now use another shader, luminous soft amber, for this one, and just change kind of the transluminous amber to soft, luminous soft amber, and let's leave it at the default for now, the emission. Let's see what that brings us, but perhaps I'll already double it to 40 because I'm way down. So let's see. And I will just cancel the render when I see the idea of light. And it's still too bright. So let's perhaps go half the default, 10. And render that again. Yeah, it's coming to something I like, but let's also move it a little bit out of the way. Let's see what this does. The problem here is I'm spilling a lot of light into the void, so to say, but yeah, whatever. It's not that we are scarce on light or something. Yeah, and it's already it's getting dim, but I will do this via the shader, and let's get that down to like 2. And let's see what this gets us. It should be, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So you have you have the idea that there are bricks. It doesn't matter, but it's a lot darker here. You have some texture, and the main light is coming out of this. I like this very much. What I don't like that much is the goblet. So I will tune that down or assign it a transluminous. So that means it's transparent but still emits light. And let's see if we have that. Soft blue neon, translucent. Let's see. I don't know if it emits light, but I don't like the blue thing for now. And then we're pretty much yeah, it's looking better. Oh yeah, yeah. So we got this look now, and I want to pump up the staff of the mage, and that was a green. And so I'm fiddling just with the scene. I won't get into that much detail. Normally I spend a lot more time. Let's go for 10. Because I tuned that down perhaps too much. Let's see what that looks like. And then we can pump up the render settings, because now I'm done with like compositing. Yeah, that's great. And you get just the idea of the red light here, and the flames going on here. I like it. So in the render, let's go to high, and also here, let's go for a higher thing, and I will see you in a minute when the render is finished. And there you have it. I think it looks great as compared to the original render where we started. Let's quickly go through what we achieved here. So that's where we started, and I guess this one is looking a lot better. And if you're just interested in the studio part and shader hacking, then thanks for watching at this point. And now I will quickly jump into Photoshop. You could replicate it in GIMP, I guess, but I'm using Photoshop CS6, and I will just make some adjustments to show how I post-process. It's just additional 10 minutes. You don't have to watch it, whatever. So let's get started. The render, I'll drop that in. And what I want to do is have kind of a glowy effect around the light. So let's do that. I'm just cloning the layer, and now I'm going Control L to have my levels, and I want kind of the light sources only, or yeah, let's have it like this, and then get some light in. So don't worry too much about the quality oversaturation. Okay. And we are blurring this, so I'm going to blur Gaussian blur, and I'm going, yeah, something like this, I guess is fine. And now I'm dragging this to the layer mask and filling it with pure black. So 1 second, that means Control D. Whatever. That means that I have my original image, so to say. And now when I paint on the layer mask, I have a brush of some kind, I hope at least. And let's see. And you see I'm painting in the mask above. I'm going back a step to the paint bucket, and I'm increasing my brush size here to about this, even bigger, about this. And now you see I can add glow stuff around, but that doesn't look good. So I need to change the layer itself, not the mask, but the layer, to screen. And that kind of, let's give it opacity of 50, that kind of has this glowy effect. I don't even, yeah. And let's get a low hardness and just have it just glow around where light emits and have that a little bit brighter. So you see, it's subtle, but it does a lot. And let's play with set opacity. And you can see I can overdo it. I won't overdo it here, but helps to sell kind of the effect of light emitting. And that out of the way, let's have an adjustment layer and go to also levels. And I just want to crush it a little bit to have it more dark with the light coming out like this. Okay. And at this point, I could get lost in, I will do a last one I like to do. It's the photo filter. Not the photo filter, sorry. What's that? Oh man, Win 10 is killing me. So Win 11, we're already on 11. So let's have a new layer and have image apply. Down here, apply image, okay. And now we got this on a solo layer, so to say. And then go to filter and go to lens correction. And I will have kind of a chromatic aberration here. And that means it's trying to fix colors in a real life lens. So that will help us to sell a little bit the render effect. So if you see, I'm overdoing it now. Let's get to 100 here. And you see here, there's kind of a fringe in there. And that subtly tries to sell the effect that it's made with the real camera on a cheap basis, that is to say. Okay, and if I wanted, I could get lost in the settings, but yeah, that's just the way. So we went in quick Photoshop steps from this, which already looks nice, to this. And yeah, that's this tutorial. I hope you liked it and you could use some information in it for your own renders. Share it in the Facebook Studio users group, and yeah, then have a nice day, evening, midday, whatever. Bye bye from Munich, Germany.